play to win the game.
Inch by inch, play by play, till we're finished.
This is Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
X about me, X about me.
With Professional Sutton.
You already know.
Chris G.
My homie.
And the Rucker Report.
My family, what up?
They for real.
All straight with no chaser.
Let the games begin.
Let's go. Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast.
Hold on. All right, I feel like I'm choking over here. I feel like I'm choking. Welcome to another edition of Don't Shoot the Messenger podcast. I'm your boy Professional Sutton.
And I'm your boy Chris G.
Wait. No. Not yet. So listen, man. Listen. We're going to do something a little different here today. Everybody.
Okay.
How we looking up there? We looking good? Everybody can hear us? We straight?
Well, we'll see. You know, so it's
All right.
a bit of a delay.
Yeah. I know, because, so it's a little delay, right?
Yeah.
All right. So put your headphones back on, fellas. Put your headphones back on for me. You can put your phone down, Chris. Put your phone down for me. Put your phone down for me. Okay. Straight out of the city.
Somebody been listening to Summertime Shootout.
Listen, chill. I gotta introduce my crew. To my right, former All-State, former Mr. Everything, the gayness. Man rushed for over 1,000, could have been 3, but coach held him back. My man, Christopher G. And my man, out of East Orange, West Orange, North Orange, South Orange, every part of Georgia you could think of. Stealing cars, hitting bras, doing what he want to do because he can. My man, Deshaun, Darquavius, Dontrell, Rucker. I told you I was on one today, yo. I told you I was on one today.
Yo,
You can't take niggas nowhere.
Yo,
I
Fab,
told y'all.
you see what
I told y'all.
That's
you see what you responsible for, Fab?
Listen. That ain't nothing.
It's a cold summer.
That ain't nothing. Cause let me tell you why. That ain't nothing.
Just go ahead and do it.
Go ahead,
now.
Chris.
Just go ahead
Tell
and do
him.
it, yo.
Tell him, Chris.
Hardcore New York.
Tell him. Yo, we acting up today, yo. When I said we acting up today. We gonna have some fun, fellas. We gonna have some fun.
Hold up. Ruck is in the building. Okay.
Let me drop that bomb real quick.
Yo, New York, Connecticut, Jersey, stand up.
Yo, I told y'all. Listen, I just want to let everybody know I downloaded Mad Effects, yo. So I'm about to be acting a whole fool today. I'm about to be acting a whole fool today. I'm having a good time, yo. We're gonna have a great time today. This show's gonna be really good. I know people gonna think that we losing our mind. And that's okay. And that's okay. But before we start, we do want to thank our sponsors. 94.3 WYBC.
The rhythm of the city.
Home with the Juan Castillo morning show. But also, before we begin, man, we got a lot of good things going on in sports in Connecticut. And I would be remiss if I don't, acknowledge these young, men and women. So much going on. We got a lot of teams in Florida that's playing for for the football championship, also the cheerleading. So I have this helmet next to me. I used to be a Hamden's Hurricanes coach. Shouts out to my boy, Lil Chris over there. But the Hamden Hurricanes JP team, the cheerleaders, they are number 1 in the nation. They won a national championship yesterday. So shouts out to them, man. Shouts out to you, little girl. Hold on. Shouts out to them, man. Shouts out to them, man. Shouts out to them, man. Shouts out to them. Also, we want to shout out the Meriden Raiders, the football and cheerleading team. They out there. Also, Tri-City Wolves, 9U, I believe.
Mhm.
Hartford Hurricanes, Bridgeport Raiders, and Stratford Redskins. Shouts out to all the men and women. Like I said, we remember being, young lads one time, one day playing sports. So this is a big deal. I'm gonna leave it on the screen for a little longer because when you see this stuff as a young kid and you work hard, it makes you feel good. You really appreciate it. So shouts out to all the young men and women that's doing their thing out there. So what's up to them. Also, we have. Hold on.
Shout out to the two youths.
Hold on.
Youths.
We said what?
The two youths.
Oh, we said what? Well, you what? You said what?
Say it again. The two youths.
Two youths.
Are you making fun of me?
Oh my God.
My cousin Vinny is
Hold on.
classic.
Like I said, it's a big deal. It's a big deal.
So you just got fireworks and everything. Huh?
Listen, we got fireworks. We got
Okay.
the music. I got everything today, man.
I know one thing. This Pro Bowl take longer than that big drip, so I know that for sure.
Chill,
Little
but
Chris.
Chill. Why you coming at me, man? Yo, today's a very special day, man, because
Yeah, I
we
love it.
just reached over 1,000 likes on our Facebook page, man. 1,000
Word.
likes on our Facebook page, man.
Okay.
And social media this year, we reached, and we probably reached a little more though. 50,000 out there. 50,000.
Are them things?
50,000 of things, man. Over 5,000 likes on social media. I want to thank everybody out there for their purchase.
I can't stand this nigga.
You know what I mean? You surely appreciate it.
It's just
You
his
know?
thoughts, man.
Yeah.
This my
Right or
thoughts, Chris.
wrong.
This why I feeling at the time. You know what I mean?
Oh my goodness.
You know what I mean?
Oh,
So,
man.
yo, vibe with a nigga. Just walk with me. Yo, check it. Gather round, hustle up, that's if you're still living, and get on down to that old jig rhythm. Come on, man.
Yo,
man.
I did not
Yo.
have any idea that it
Don't
was
worry
going to
about
go this way.
Yo, crazy. It's crazy.
All right, let's
Crazy.
go.
Yeah. Yeah.
Crazy.
I can't.
Well, let's do it live then.
Oh my goodness.
Listen. I told y'all we gonna have some fun.
Hold
on this
on.
show.
Shout out to Queen Tara in the building.
Yes. Shout out to
The
Queen Tara.
number one.
Yes.
Hand clap for that.
Let me see
You know what I'm
if I-
saying? Make sure
Let me see if I got
everybody
it.
know who it is
Let me see. Hold on, let me see.
Queen
when
Tara,
she
is live?
step into the building.
Tara
Yeah.
in the building.
You
Shout
heard?
out.
Shouts out to Queen Tara, man.
Yeah.
Shouts out to Queen
Hold on.
Tara.
No. Shout out to that black queen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Uh-huh.
I
Because
bet you that Black Lives Matter.
Yes, it does.
I bet you it do, Chris. I bet you that damn Black Lives Matter over there.
Don't you ever talk about me. You know what I mean?
Yo.
Tell him, Chris.
They should have never gave you niggas money. Yeah.
You heard yourself, Chris? Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I remember that one.
So all right. So we're gonna go into the show, man. Like I said, I'm having too much fun. So
Wow.
I did some Dear Santa letters. You know what I mean? I got some responses. Yes. And I'm gonna read those on the air. Some Dear Santa letters.
All right,
I mean-
that must be a lie, but okay.
Talking
let's
about-
go.
Okay.
No, not all of them.
All right. Okay. Yeah.
It's
all right.
pertaining to what people want their teams to have.
Oh, okay.
So yeah, Dear Santa. You know what I mean? Also, we got a giveaway and appreciation. So if you inbox us, let me put it back on the screen, man.
Uh-oh.
If you inbox us, you can get a free DSTM t-shirt. So hit us up.
Oh, okay.
Thank you for your support and love, man. We got a lot of people out there that showing their love. So thank you so much. So, hit us up. We got you. NFL insurance scandal. There's a lot of fraud going out there. Clinton Portis, he's the headline of my man out
Allegedly.
there. Yeah,
Allegedly.
Allegedly. He's stealing stuff.
Just
That's
because
what they
just because he went to the U, don't mean he did it.
I don't know. You know how to get down out there. But also NBA MVP. So we're gonna talk about that. And also the best NBA player to never win a championship. That's gonna be something. That's gonna be
Can't wait.
Also, social media. You know what I mean? Hold on, wait. Not social media. We want everybody to know where you can find us, man. Could you guys read that for me, please? Hit that up for me, man.
Well, listen, man. Social media, you can find us on Facebook at Don't Shoot the Messenger Podcast, on IG at Real DSTM, on Twitter at Real DSTN1, on YouTube at Professional Sutton. You can donate and support at the Cash App. Wait, whoa. Where my Cash App? Yo, I'm giving out free shout outs. And my cash ain't up there at Chris23233.
Here we go. All right. Well, I'll put yours up there too.
Dollar sign.
I'm gonna put all ours
Drop
up there.
that.
So
Or at dollar sign SUT10 SUT10.
And also Patreon. Don't Shoot the Messenger Sports Podcast. So you can hit us up
Facts.
there, man. So we love it. We love it. So we're gonna jump right into the NFL insurance scandal thing. So, Ruck, could you please bring us in, for these alleged allegations that's going on?
So before we get to the alleged allegations, the thing that prompted me to hit y'all with this was an article I read where Jim Brown was pretty much letting everybody know what the pension situation is for, the elders of the game. I want to call them the greats of the game.
Right.
And how, the NFL for over the last 20 some odd years has been, I don't even want to say nickel and diming these folks, but $2,500 a month for people that not only have laid their life down for the game, but are struggling to maintain any sense of life at all.
Hold on. How much you say a month?
$2,500. Yeah.
Okay.
So the article was really interesting to me because it really shined the light on a lot of the ex-players that are in their 70s and 80s, and a lot of these guys in 70s and 80s are addicted to painkillers.
Yeah. And they need treatment.
That's crazy to me. You know what I'm saying? And I mean, again, we've all seen the 30 for 30 about like Earl Campbell and people like that. So just reading that and just how brutally honest Jim Brown was being about it, it really does shine a light on a $1 billion, sports entity that could take better care of their own. And then I thought about Ballers and how it brought everything back full circle. And again, shout out to The Rock, but more importantly, shout out to Rashad Mendenhall, because a lot of people don't remember Rashad Mendenhall used to play for the Steelers.
Went to Illinois.
Shout out to the Steelers. Played for Illinois.
With Juice Williams.
You know what I'm saying? But Rashad is an executive producer on the show, and from what I'm told, is heavily involved in the writing of a lot of these episodes. And I mean, it's a sad truth, man. And it's one thing, when you're watching the NFL, that you could be so caught up in the games and following your favorite players that you miss the undertone of what actually is going on,
right?
Which leads back into this whole supposed alleged fraud that Clinton Portis and at least 10 other players are being accused of.
So if you guys don't know, I'm sorry to cut you off, Rook. So I got a little snippet of it.
Give it up.
That, some of the claims that they were making were between $40,000 to $50,000 each. They said that they were fabricating invoices, prescriptions, medical necessities. They said that they were buying things like expensive equipment, hyperbaric oxygen chamber, ultrasound machines, stuff that was, wasn't used for players, doctor offices, so on and so forth. But I'm thinking if these players are really hurt, they need these type of, this type of equipment to sustain, right?
When I read it, all of the stuff that they listed are things that they're going to need to maintain any semblance of life. You talking about even guys right now. Like, listen, I know y'all call me the old man, but Clinton Portis ain't that old. And for him to be hurting the way that he says he's hurting,
they all are.
You know what I'm saying? Like, that tells you enough right there. Bleacher Report has been doing this thing over the last couple of weeks where they've been kind of inviting former players in.
Yes,
and these are former players that we all know. Santana Moss, Antonio Cromartie, people like that. And I don't know if y'all saw the one with Santana Moss where he was talking about he took those Vicodins and had that fifth of Henny because Daniel Snyder was like, oh, you playing today, right?
Yeah.
Again, you talking about he said he couldn't feel his heel for over 2 weeks.
Damn.
And had to drink a fifth just to get through warm-ups.
I don't think people realize how serious these prescription medications are. And, when people say, well, why do people smoke weed? Like, that's stupid. This is your job. I get that. But when I listen to, I don't remember who it was, but when I listen to an athlete, a professional athlete, and they said, I'd rather smoke than take these pills because they said the side effects of these pills are horrible. Like, you get addicted. You have to
He's no
take
longer
these
in the
pills.
league right now. The name escapes me, but he used to play for the Cowboys.
Yeah.
Wasn't it Bruce Irvin? It was an Irvin.
I don't know. It
I think
wasn't
his
Mike.
last name
Irvin.
was Irvin.
It wasn't
no,
Mike.
it wasn't Mike. We know what Mike take.
Booger sugar.
It looked
Anyway,
like your shirt,
you know what I mean?
white tee.
You stupid.
I'm
Nah,
just saying.
but I think that baseball, they are leading the way, and they said, listen, we're gonna take marijuana off as one of the banned substances.
You know why baseball is leading the way?
Go ahead.
I said it once.
Go ahead.
Go ahead,
I'll
Chris.
Go
say
ahead.
it twice.
Do it
and
again.
I'll say it again.
Mm-hmm.
Because their union actually gives a fuck. And their union actually gets things done. And their union is the best union
In the world, Craig.
in the world. And it's not even the most popular sport, which
No.
is, they make the most money.
Yes.
Yep.
They have the best deals.
Mm-hmm.
They have the best union. But look at football.
You-
They just, and it's
Mm.
never, it's why I don't feel sorry for football players because they had a chance. Now
Mhm.
their CBA is coming to an end.
Yep. So it's
All
gonna
right.
be up soon.
It's going to be up soon. I think it's either next year or the year after. It'll be the 10-year mark.
I think
Yeah, I
it's
think it's-
2021.
Yeah,
could
it's
be.
21.
Could be.
Yeah.
I'm not telling because they're not going to listen because they're not smart, and I'm just being honest. If they were smart though, they would get their affairs in order
Mm-hmm.
and be prepared to strike.
Yes.
Yeah.
Because baseball did that.
Listen, we need another replacements movie. Be prepared.
Whatever. We need another
But-
one. But
but-
they have to, if they don't stand up, here's the thing with this is why I don't feel bad, even if they were frauding the NFL.
Mm-hmm.
The NFL has been running a monopoly / mafioso type business
On everybody.
on everybody for 20 plus years.
Mm-hmm.
For 20 plus years, they've been getting
Well,
over.
Well, listen, I'll take it one step further. We are now in the 100th year of the NFL, right?
Facts.
I will say 100 years they've been getting over. Because even when we're talking about the NFL and AFL, when they started, do you know that, listen, back in the day, you're talking about people like Otto Graham and stuff like that, way back in the day, right? They were barely getting $1,100, $1,200 a month. Now I know what the
I know, but that was, the time.
And
but
they've
I,
had
but
to
I,
work
but I
two
understand.
jobs,
But I
you know.
understand the time. But you're a professional athlete. You didn't have to work another job. You're paying for your. Remember back in the day, they're paying for their own healthcare insurance.
I agree with you.
You know what I'm saying? So it changed, but they were still robbing the game back in the day.
I'm just saying, you gotta remember, and I only bring this up because we just did the movies. James J. Braddock was broke as fuck.
Yeah,
Who?
James J. Braddock, Cinderella Man.
Cinderella Man. He was
Mhm.
broke as fuck. So I'm just during that time it was easy. I mean, you even look at the Joe Lewises of the world, who
Mhm.
came a little bit after he did beat James J. Braddock, but a little
Mhm.
bit after that era, in his twilight years, he was struggling to get by. And he was the champ, heavyweight champ
Yes.
for a long
For a long time.
So I'm just the only reason I said the 25 years is because they really just. I mean, you gotta remember. I can't remember who told me the quote. It was like, oh no, I was listening to Klay Thompson. He did a little joint with Maverick Carter. Maverick Carter's got a little joint on YouTube. I don't know.
Okay.
I ain't
Yep,
trying to
yep.
plug his shit because he got enough money. But he was Klay Thompson was telling a story about how his father was telling him about when Moses Malone started making $6 million a year, and they thought it was they was like,
Yeah.
fam, this
It's
is crazy.
done.
This
Yeah.
is crazy. Who makes and like when Magic Johnson signed that 10-year, $10 million contract?
Yeah.
Now that's a spit in the
10
face.
year, $100 million or something, right?
Nah,
Yeah.
No, it was 10 years, 10 million.
Oh, well then even with that, like again, we could talk about the year that Glenn Robinson signed with the Bucks for $77 million. No, $100 million. The franchise was only worth 77 at that time. But again, they recouped that money, and that's why I brought even the old time, because even where the players will get, or even now as they're getting money, think about this, right? The Yankees just proved it the other day. They just signed a pitcher for 9 years, $378 million.
Garrett, he's 34, is he not?
Garrett Cole,
He's 34, right?
he's 34 years old. Shit. Right? So
I'm
you
sorry,
look
that's
at
just not
that.
good business, but go ahead.
You look at that, but again, my thing about that and my thing about baseball is, yes, best union, still America's pastime, but not
Getting
a
all of that-
popular sport.
Hold on. Getting
But-
all of that.
Yeah.
Getting all of that
All
three.
that.
Yeah,
Getting all of that.
he getting every bit of it, right? But my thing is, and what I want people to understand is, if he's getting all of that three, right? What you think they getting on the back end?
Sure.
You know what the Yankees do every year annually, right? So even though it's a large number, and even though I think now with that stage, Mike Trout is going to get $500 million.
Well, no, Mike Trout already got his deal.
Yeah,
He got his already?
Yeah, he's 400 and.
Oh, they gave Mike on the low?
412. Yeah, it was like 412.
Woo, well, somebody else.
It
Well,
wasn't
then,
on the low.
No,
Okay.
it wasn't on the. 'cause
no,
it was,
not on the
you
low,
know what it
but
was?
It was him and Bryce Harper.
Right, Bryce Harper got his first.
Bryce
And
got
then-
his first, then they did Mike.
And then I told you, I was like, if y'all want to know how much better Trout is
Yep.
than Bryce, after Bryce got his 3
Yep.
and he got 4, I said he $100 million. I said
Yeah.
whatever Bryce is worth,
But you're
Trout
gonna
is
see,
worth $100
you're
million.
gonna see
quarterly.
all this over the next couple of years because listen, you know who still got to get paid? Aaron Judge. You know who still got to get paid in another couple of years? Altuve. So it's gonna continue to happen. And you're talking about a sport that's 182 games in a year, regular season.
That's crazy.
Regular
I
season.
also want to add that Garrett on his deal, on that $300+ million deal, no trade clause, nothing backloaded,
Nope.
all coming, and they can't defer payment. So you know,
Straight up.
the famous, and I love Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yes.
I love
Yeah, me
Bobby
too.
Bonilla
Yes,
Day. That's a
I
great
love
Bobby
holiday.
Bonilla Day.
Let me
is
tell you
awesome.
something. That's a heist of all heists.
Followed by Allen Houston Day.
Followed
Larry
by
Johnson
Allen Houston
Day. You know,
But-
it's a couple days.
I
it's
love
out
me
there.
some Bobby Bonilla Day.
Yeah.
He said, his agent said, "Nah, we ain't doing none of that. They cannot defer payment in any way. So
Mhm.
in these next 7 or 9 years, I can't remember what the contract was. I think it was.
I think it's 9.
I think it's 9.
Yeah.
You getting this
Yeah.
in these 9 years.
All that.
All that.
And baseball, listen, the crazy thing is baseball, after Bobby Bonilla, when they took out the deferred payments, they took out balloon payments. Now, balloon payments and deferred payments is something that the NFL and the NBA have tried to do for a long time. Like the NBA stopped it with Sean Kemp. He was the last one with his. Derrick Rose actually has a similar contract with
With
Adidas.
Adidas, yeah.
But
That's like that.
But that's something. That's
Something
not
totally
in the
different. That's not
league.
sports.
Yeah, that's not
Yeah.
sports.
Something totally different.
But
So
he
again,
getting in.
go
AI
get your
getting
money.
his.
Yeah.
AI is something
AI,
similar
go,
with Reebok.
go get yours. But again, I think it's the foundation of what we were talking about is just people that don't have the means anymore, like especially that have given so much to the game, they need to be taken care of.
Yes, they do.
It's no way that we should be seeing our greats of the game, you
Struggle.
know,
I
not
agree.
only struggle but wither and die, pretty much.
I agree that they should be taken care of. I also think that these players, especially in the NFL,
Mm-hmm.
need to smarten up and man up.
Yeah,
They
gotta
have-
take
they
care of
have-
yourself.
Not only to take care of yourself part, because they do, and they have to do that,
Mm-hmm.
but also you need to look. I don't understand why they can't realize you are in the most popular game
Mm-hmm.
that makes the most money, and it
Absolutely.
ain't close.
You need a bell on that.
Football
bomb,
is
something.
king. If you watch the Concussion movie, they own a day of the week.
A
They own
day of the
Sunday.
week, and trying to get another one Thursday and
They
Monday.
Own it. And for players to be in the most popular sport, but be the lowest paid players. I got scrubs in the
Mhm.
NBA. They throwing around $40 million to scrubs like it's
Mhm.
Tic Tacs. But in
Mhm.
the NFL, I mean, you struggling to even see $100 million guaranteed.
Mhm.
They need to
unless
hold
unless you saying Bradford,
on. Well, he didn't
mask
get
on,
100. You know what?
Future.
He's had over $100 million in
Right.
guarantees, but I'm just talking about in one
One
lump.
lump.
Not in
sum.
one lump
But
sum,
yes.
but you talk about
Sam
a
Bradford.
white man that was able to go into 3 different buildings with a ski mask and rob everybody.
You know who getting ski mask
Sam
ready?
Bradford.
You know who getting ski mask ready?
Who that?
Ryan Tannehill.
Yeah.
Oh.
They are falling for the banana
Yo, let me just
in
say
the
this.
tailpipe.
tailpipe.
Yo, let me just say this, right? So
Mm.
yesterday, shout out to my cousin, right, Rashawn. I'm talking to him, and he like, yo, I've been telling everybody that Ryan Tannehill's good. I said, where? I said, he is a good backup quarterback. I said, that's what he's doing his job as a backup. I said, but he's not a good quarterback. I said, when you look at who he's playing, he cannot sustain that through the playoffs. He cannot
No.
sustain that through a whole
No.
season.
Listen,
Please do, as
if-
Ruck said,
if-
do not get fooled.
no. If Tennessee
Do not
makes it
get
in,
fooled, man.
they trust me, people. They are one and done. Exactly.
If I'm not mistaken, their last 3 games, mind you, they're tied with the Steelers.
Yep.
Tennessee's last 3 games is Houston twice and the Saints.
So
Good luck.
anyway, moving on.
Good
but
luck.
but to Chris's point, this is going to be the second team. He's going to be able to walk into their front office, put the mask on, and get the Brinks truck.
People are talking
Because he got $100 million from Miami.
which was a straight
Crazy.
robbery. That was a Miami Vice heist job. And now
Where was Crockett and Tubbs on that?
where were
Huh?
they when we needed him? And now he's in Tennessee. And even if he don't get the money in Tennessee,
He'll get his own.
other teams are going.
Yep.
Man, you see it, and I'm going.
Mhm.
Have you watched them?
Mm-hmm.
It's all. Let me tell you what's real about Tennessee. And we had Brandon on the Brandon
Yep.
McLean on the show last week.
Mm-hmm.
That defense is
defense.
real.
And
That running game is real.
Is
I watched them play the Colts.
Mm-hmm.
I like the Colts. Colts are okay too.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Shout outs to the Colts for making a season of it after losing a franchise quarterback
Right.
unexpectedly in the beginning.
Shout
of
out
the
to
year,
Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah.
who negotiated his own deal with no agent, so he ain't give him nothing. So
Okay, young man.
I like that.
it's a young man rumbling. But so I watched that game, and what I
Mhm.
took away from that game is I said that game was Adam Vinatieri had missed like 3 extra points
Out for the season, too.
out for the season now.
Wow.
He missed not 3 extra points. I'm sorry.
Field
He missed 3 field goals.
Three field goals.
One of them got returned for a touchdown when it
Yep.
was tied 17-17.
Mhm.
Flipped the game. This was late in the
Mhm.
fourth quarter. Made Jacoby Brissett have to press the issue.
Mm-hmm.
Got an interception right in the red zone. Then it made the score look like, oh, they beat them by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, and it wasn't
looked
like
ugly,
that.
but it wasn't like that.
Yeah.
And I watched a lot of their games, and they're not like that.
No.
They're really, really close games. That defense is like a game-breaking defense for Tennessee.
Yeah.
I got to give it up for who's down there, Mike Vrabel?
Yep.
Mike
Yep.
Vrabel?
Yep.
Oh man, where did Mike go to school at?
Oh, knew he was going to throw that in there.
He
Yeah.
went to John Day High School. That's
No,
what
no,
it is.
no,
Yo,
no,
he
college.
He went to
College. Where
He
you go
went
to
to
college?
he went to Matter Day Elementary
yes.
School. Shout outs to Mike Vrabel.
Yeah.
Shout out to the Buckeyes because y'all all
Oh,
know he went
boy.
to Mike
Oh.
Vrabel is an alum
I didn't
of
know
Ohio
that.
State.
Oh, he
but
is? Wouldn't even known that.
shout
So,
out to him.
yo, but just on another subject, right? And I'm gonna call this robbery, because this is just how I feel, and not even because my
Brandon,
nephew
what
in the
up?
building. Not even because my nephew in the building. If Mike Tomlin don't get Coach of the Year, it's a bad look.
But you
Yeah,
know he
right?
not. But you know he not.
But he should.
Nah, but you know who
But
they
But
you
he
know
gonna-
he
should.
But you know who they gonna give it to, right?
They gonna give it to your boy.
Yeah.
They gonna give it to Shanahan. But he should not get it.
Or Harbaugh.
Yeah.
Or
I
Harbaugh.
mean, well,
Possible.
It's one of them too.
But it should be in Pittsburgh with
I
Mike
mean,
Tomlin.
it should be, but you know how that's gonna go, and they're gonna look at his record compared to their records. They're
That's-
like,
it
ah,
always
Yeah,
comes down
but
to
that's
record.
exactly what I want them to look at. I want them to look at his record
With
in
three-
comparison
with his third string
in
quarterback.
comparison to their records with not only third string quarterback, but with his star running back that's injured, with the other star running back playing in New York now, with I ain't even gonna say what Ben is, hurt,
Stupid.
right? Without AB, without Juju, without everybody.
Now I've still listen.
Right?
I
Who
agree
has
with
done
you.
a better coaching job?
Nobody. And let's not forget, they kill. And I mean, Mike Tomlin is one of the only coaches in the NFL
Mhm.
who doesn't have a losing record
Nope.
as a head coach.
10
consistent-
years.
10 years. Not a losing record.
Mm-hmm.
You know who does got a bunch of losing records that's been coached for just as long and only has just
Mhm.
as much success as him that they
Mhm.
never talk about losing his
Mhm.
job? Sean Payton.
Oh,
All right?
Oh,
Mm.
Let me get up for this.
Yeah.
Sean
Yeah.
Payton.
Yeah.
Uh-oh.
See,
Yeah.
they never.
Uh-huh.
you gonna put him on trial?
Oh,
See-
it's fish
Hold
grease
on,
now.
Oh, yeah, it's fish grease now.
Hold on, hold on,
You see, because
Go ahead.
when I started looking at the numbers,
Okay.
Mhm.
a shout out to Henny Bub because he in the building. We looked this up together.
Henny Bub.
When I started looking at the numbers, I said, you know what?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
You look at Sean Payton. Sean Payton has always had Drew Brees.
Hold on, Chris. Hold on, wait. Hold on. So you coming with the smoke, right?
Oh, I'm
All
with
of
the,
it.
I'm with the shits.
Okay, so you coming out swinging.
Swinging. I'm with the shits.
Okay. Okay.
I'm telling you this right now. Sean Payton has got 3. I'm doing it off head. I'm doing it off the top of the dome right now.
Mhm.
So I'm not 100%. But it's either 3 or 4 7-9 seasons with
Yep.
Drew Brees.
Yep.
With Drew Brees. You
Yep.
know who never been on the hot seat?
Mm.
Sean Payton.
Mm-hmm.
I mean,
Yo.
Thompson.
But you know who? No, I said
no.
who?
that's
Never,
Sean- right, yeah,
Sean
yeah,
never
Payton.
been on the
Right,
hot
right.
seat.
Never.
Sean Payton. You know who has been on the hot seat after going to AFC championship game, after winning multiple division titles, after winning a Super Bowl. You know who constantly, every time they don't win the Super Bowl, who's on the hot seat? Mike Tomlin. I have listened to countless, figureheads on TV talk about, man, Mike Tomlin, man, I don't know how good of a coach he is. He's more like a rah-rah guy. And now look at the job that he's doing with guys like Mason Rudolph. And what's your quarterback name?
Duck.
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 Who the fuck gives who the fuck
Duck.
name a kid Duck?
Duck.
That's who he's running out there. And we've seen that Mike Tomlin is a real coach
Let me
his
just-
butt off.
and
let me
gets the
just read-
best out of his
But
players.
wait,
Okay,
but even before reading that, some other losses that we have to talk about that they've sustained. Listen,
Terry
he's-
Bradshaw.
he-
I'm sorry.
Yeah, yes.
Terry Bradshaw,
Go ahead, get it.
number one person I always see criticizing Mike Tomlin.
I mean, come on.
Always.
man. Come on.
Listen,
man.
I ain't about to say that about TB, the real TB12.
Yeah.
Yeah, come on. Stop it. Stop it.
I ain't about to. I ain't going there for Terry, but I'm just saying he is one. Him,
Yep.
Colin Coward.
Mm-hmm.
It's a lot going around. The only person I ever see give him love it's jaded because it's Stephen A. He loved the Steelers, but
Yeah.
you know he the
Yeah.
only one I be seeing
but
constantly
you got
giving
to
Tomlin
remember,
love.
but you got to remember Terry Bradshaw, like he's a Steeler and he's used a certain way. So his coaches are
Listen.
Coward and the
Chuck
Noll
and Chuck
and-
Noll. So those are his guys. Those are his
Yeah,
guys.
but
I'm not
again,
even gonna
it goes to the point. They're his guys for a reason. Don't worry, I'll wait. Anyway,
Chris said he ain't gonna go there, but okay.
the other thing that I think is even a bigger accomplishment to the coaching job, right? You talking about over the last 3 to 4 years, you lose Dick LeBeau, you lose your wide receivers coach that has been there since you've been there, and you continue to develop talent.
Crazy.
Like, again, and I know he don't like Marvin,
Come on, stop.
but
Come on, you better not
you
compare
talk.
to Marvin.
No, I'm not comparing him to Marvin, but you have to say that coaches like Tomlin, coaches like Marvin Lewis, they develop talent in this league, and they have never gotten the credit for what they have
You
done.
can't say Cincinnati wasn't talented. You can be
No.
mad that
No.
Marvin
Yes.
didn't do more.
But you
Okay,
can't
all
say
right.
that
But
he
you
didn't.
can't say he ain't
Listen,
developed no
let me
talent.
tell you this.
That's true.
Vontez Burfict was somebody that was never on anybody's draft board, and Marvin Lewis made him a Pro Bowl middle linebacker.
Okay, I
You
agree
can
with
say he's dirty. You can say whatever, right? You
What
can
tree
say
Marvin-
Ocho
you
Cinco.
can say that.
What tree Marvin come
Ocho.
from? What coaching
See?
tree does
See?
Marvin come
See?
from?
Go ahead, Quet. Answer it, Quet.
I don't know.
Tony Dungy.
Mm-hmm.
Tony Dungy tree.
You see what happened with Tony, right? Mm-hmm.
I mean,
I'm just
Tony
saying,
putting them things out. Tony,
two best black trees. It's
Lovey.
Tony,
Yep.
Tony on one side and Denny
Denny
on the
Green.
other.
On the other side, and everybody connected to Denny.
Everybody connected.
Everybody.
Yeah.
'Cause everybody connected to them two because everybody's either connected to Tony, and if you're connected to Tony, you're connected to Denny.
Denny, yep.
And then Denny, and if you know Denny,
Yeah.
then, just
So
whatever.
So I had to go there because as I was looking at a lot of stuff that was going on and just the breakdown of the playoffs and where they were, I honestly, it was a shock to me to look up and see the Steelers there, and I was like, yo,
Mind you, they dropped the first four.
they
They
there.
dropped the first.
Yeah.
Exactly.
They're 8-5, y'all.
Yeah. After dropping the first four and then having, not only did the injury bug bite, that mug came back, bit some more, and they're 8-5
shouts out to them.
in the hunt, but they don't get no love. But we want to talk about the Cowboys and the Eagles,
But you gotta understand,
dumpster fires.
You know, that's the media.
Like, come on, son.
You know what? You know, the Dallas Cowboys, they deserve everything they get because
Mhm.
Jerry Jones has made an
There you
atmosphere
go. There you
that
go.
is conducive to losing.
Everything they get.
They deserve everything they get. First of all, I didn't even know. I didn't know until recently
Mhm.
that your boy Garrett was married to Jerry Jones' daughter. I didn't know that.
I mean, I didn't know that either.
I didn't know that.
Listen, I didn't know that, but I know Jason has some stuff on somebody.
Hold on, is Henny Bub still up here?
I don't know. I mean, I don't know. He
Well,
ain't coming. I don't know.
Well, he
Shout out to Larry Love.
Well, he gonna appreciate.
Shout out to Raymond Bennett. You know what I'm saying? So
I'm
it's
just
something
saying.
there.
But yo, I mean,
That's
even
why he keeps him.
even Troy
Got
Aikman,
you. Got you. Okay.
even Troy
That makes
Aikman
sense, though.
came out against Jerry
Jason.
Jones this week.
Mm-hmm.
He was just like, man, they're not gonna be able to
Mhm.
get a guy in there that can make a real change because of Jerry,
Jerry.
Jones being in the way. They talking about they want. First of all, they talking about they want Urban Meyer.
Nah.
All right,
Don't
and let me tell you why Urban Meyer won't work in Dallas. It's not because he can't coach. He's a great coach.
Mm-hmm.
It's because Urban Meyer is a control freak. He wants control,
Yeah.
and he's going to do it his way. And you mean to tell me, let me tell you something. That relationship will end faster than AB and the Raiders.
True. It
I
will.
mean, No,
No more white women. No more.
Let me tell you
Please.
what Urban Meyer not about to do. Listen to Jerry Jones.
And
No.
he shouldn't.
It's only been one coach in the history, two, in Dallas's history that have been able to shoo Jerry. That's Landry, right? Tom Landry.
No, he fired
No, he
Tom.
no, he fired Tom.
You talking
Excuse
about
me.
Jimmy Johnson.
So
Jimmy
no,
Johnson.
I wouldn't even say Jimmy because I think Jerry still had the thumb on Jimmy, but I know he didn't have it on Bill because Bill said, "I don't care
No,
what
but
you
again,
do."
I would
but
say
again,
Bill.
and that's why it didn't work.
I would say Bill
Yeah.
Parcells.
But Bill was telling him. He said it in the press conference.
Not gonna work.
Listen, you ain't gonna have me cook the dinner and I can't buy the groceries.
Yeah.
Nah,
And that's why
not
you
gonna
know,
work.
That's why Barry Switzer didn't work. That's why Jimmy Johnson didn't work.
Barry
No,
Switzer was
Jimmy
the perfect
Johnson
one
worked.
for him.
No, but no, because Barry, first of all,
Barry's a yes dude.
is a yes dude,
Yeah,
and he
okay.
All the
lived
time.
off of what Jerry with
Jimmy Johnson.
Jimmy Johnson did.
Right.
That's
That
what
was
Barry
Jimmy's
Switzer did.
team.
That was Jimmy T. That was
Mhm.
Jimmy. And then after Jimmy left and he got that one,
Mhm.
what happened with Barry?
That's
in the
it.
tank,
Yeah. But
That's
again,
it.
the plummet began.
but guess
Mhm.
what? Jerry Jones got to say, I did it my way. That was my
Hey.
team.
Well, that's why him and Jimmy Johnson didn't
Right.
work because Jimmy
Yeah.
Johnson is a no. I know what I'm doing type of
Yeah,
guy.
because Jimmy wanted to do it his way. But again, it's I just find it real funny, and I found that to be a really interesting fact.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And again, I get it. I get that the Niners are the feel-good story, the fresh pick. I get it. I get that Lamar is doing something in the league that we have never seen before. I get it.
Right.
But if you're talking about the best job being done
That's true.
right now in football,
I agree.
it's in Pittsburgh. Period.
So I do want to move on, man. Sorry to cut everybody off, but
Where we at?
Everybody that's listening, I just want to say, definitely look down at the bottom. If you want to support the cause, if you want to be a
Mhm.
sponsor, hit us up. It's cat. It was a $ Sut10 or Chris. What's your?
23233.
There you go. What's yours, Rhett?
I don't even know.
Okay, all right. Also,
Just send it to them.
Also, if you want to be a sponsor, you can hit me up at Marquette, MARQUET
Mm-hmm.
2003 at yahoo.com. That's Marquette, MARQUET 2003 at yahoo.com. Support, get your business out there.
My Cash App is dry. Hit me
Yeah,
up,
man.
dude.
Hit me up.
We got to shout
Hit
out
me
the
up, man.
friends to the show.
Also, I want to shout out some friends to the show. Not everybody in. I want to shout out, two groups. Sports Overtime. Shouts out to them. I love
Mhm.
that group, man. Dope. NFL Longest Yard, 3-point conversion. Hair Brew. If you want to buy some Hair Brew
Yeah,
products,
get
go
brewed up.
to hairbrewproducts.com. Also, driventoinspire.com.
Shout out to Rob Felder if
Yes,
you need to
man.
build your
Rob
team,
Felder. Dope
build
dude, man.
those professionals that you have there. Call Rob,
Yes,
man.
man. So, who is your MVP so far, the NBA? Who going first?
Let
Who going
Chris
first?
go.
Hold on. Let me go first because I know y'all gonna tear out the park. Y'all gonna tear out
You
the
gonna
park.
tear it out the park
So
too?
this young man, I've been watching him. The games that I've been catching, being in my 49ers is really like on one.
Oh,
I've been
boy.
really sticking with the NFL for right now, but I have been catching him.
Mhm.
This
Okay.
man, Luca, man. Yo, man, I'm really impressed by him. Man.
Wow.
I'm really impressed
You
by him
shocked
right
me
now.
with that one.
I'm really impressed by him right now.
Yeah, that's
Luca?
You said right now, my MVP
yeah,
so far.
I know, and that's
right
pissing
now.
me off
It's okay.
because it's not even. It's not. He's been good. Don't get me wrong.
Listen,
Wow.
He's
talking
been
about
really good.
He did have a
He-
40-point triple-double the other
Say,
night,
he
too.
averaging about 30 points a game, man.
Yeah, but
He
he's
doing
not
his
even
thing.
doing. He's not even doing what James Harden's doing, and I'm not even considering
Nah.
him for MVP. I can't. No.
Listen,
We're
okay.
not about to do this.
Listen,
We're
listen,
not about to.
listen.
We not
Hold
about
on,
to
hold
do the
on.
great
First-
white hype. We
hold
not
on.
about to do
Hold
this
on.
here.
Hold on. First of all,
We not.
Roger Goodell, you ain't gonna tell me who I can go for. Okay, I'm gonna let you know that right now. Okay. Second of all, I see this young man, and I like what I'm seeing so far right now. You said right now. If we was in April, it'd be a little different.
No. So you saying right now, if you had to cast a vote
Yeah.
based on everybody's stats in the NBA,
Okay.
right now, you voting for Luka Doncic?
Yes, I am.
Man, shut the fuck
Yeah, see.
See? You know what?
Yo.
Dave Henny was saying this same shit at work.
That's all right.
He was saying the same shit when Carmelo won Player of the Week. I said, man, that was a
different.
pity. I said
That's
that was a pity Player of the Week. He
That's
was like,
different.
yo, he was averaging 19. I said Harden been averaging 40.
And Harden ain't been doing anything. But anyway, so
Got a better record than Dallas.
well, I mean, you know, he got
That's true.
he got rust. But anyway, so go
That's
ahead, Chris.
That's a thing. Ding.
Go ahead, Chris. Let me see. Yeah, let me get a little. You know what I mean?
Listen, based on right now,
Mm-hmm.
I gotta go with Giannis.
Okay.
He's the it's pretty vanilla, pretty
Mhm.
bland,
Mm-hmm.
no seasoning, but it's just the truth.
It's good for you.
It's just the truth. They're
Now-
on a,
now-
Bucks are on a 17-game win streak.
But hold on.
Yep.
But hold on. Is the East weak?
That's not weak.
I'm just saying because you know it's
East
like
not weak.
because when
No.
Brian was out there, like yo, this shit weak. This shit don't matter. I'm just saying. I'm just
It-
asking
what- it-
because you guys are professionals.
it-
I don't know nothing.
Look,
I don't know.
Go ahead,
anything.
Chris.
East not weak.
Okay.
Now East was weak when Braun was there.
Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. See,
It
now-
was weak,
It was right.
but it wasn't like
Wow.
it wasn't any competition. It was just LeBron, and it was always one floating. It was like one team that could challenge LeBron, and that team was always changing. It wasn't always the same team. But now, I think if Braun was in the East, he would see some worthy. It'll be like 2 or 3 good teams, and that's what I think the East is.
Shout
Listen,
out to Raymond Bennett. What's good, Raymond?
I gotta give props to obviously Boston,
Mm.
Philly, obviously Milwaukee, and quiet as kept, Miami.
Yes.
Looks great.
Yes. Yeah. Yo, nobody talking
Nobody
about
talking about him.
But can we please, for my sake and for the sake of the Miami Heat?
Hold on. When it's your MVP term?
No, I don't even want the MVP point. I just want them
Well,
just make a trade for Chris Paul so we can get that money off the books. Chris Paul will be a tremendous asset to the Heat right now.
Okay, I see
I
what
don't
you're
know.
selling, President.
I don't know.
And just
Nah, I don't know.
get him over there.
I don't know, man.
But go ahead.
Oh wait, first of all, I didn't even see this. Brian O'Brien, aka Breezes, is in the building, saying put some respect on Joe Burrow's name. Listen, I you ain't catch it earlier. I said he went
Yeah.
hands down.
Yeah.
And listen, you get your little love because he at LSU, but don't you forget where he came from. Don't you get where he from? Anyway, I'm gonna roll with like I said, I'm gonna roll with Giannis.
Giannis.
I think Giannis is the guy right now. I mean, listen, AD's been playing really good. LeBron's been playing really good. Harden's been playing really good. Actually, he had an efficient night. Like, whoa, I
Yeah,
almost lost my
like
mind
2
last
games
night.
ago.
Last night against Orlando, 10 for 15 threes. I was like, when
Oh
did
yeah,
that
and
ever
he only,
happen
and
with
I
him?
think what he only had 5 free throws.
Something like that. I was
Yeah,
like,
it
whoa,
was efficient for
he
him.
can actually play basketball.
Mhm.
So you know,
It ain't 2K.
right? It ain't too good. I said, shout out to that. But I like I said, there is some competition in the East. In the West,
Mhm.
though, I would say not so much. But I wouldn't say it's. I don't think it's. Hold on. Hold on. I don't think it's because of LeBron.
Meh.
I don't think it's because of LeBron. I think it's because of injuries.
Dang.
But listen, I don't even think LeBron is on the best team in the West.
How, Sway? Take a few steps back.
You ain't got the answers.
Clippers,
man.
Clippers,
You ain't got the answers. You ain't got the answers. You
Clippers are the best team in the West. They are. They are. Okay. They are. After the Clippers, it's the Lakers, and it's close. It's like it's razor thin, close. After that, I think there's just a big drop off in the West because those 2 teams are so much better than every. No, don't give me Denver. No, don't give me Dallas. No, don't give me Houston. He listen. He caught a break with Kevin leaving and getting hurt, and with obviously the Warriors are just a mess.
The Lakers,
right now.
but the Clippers caught a break with that too.
No, Clippers too. Oh no, let me
Everybody caught a
rephrase.
break.
everybody in the NBA caught a break.
Oh,
that
that's sad, man.
Kevin
How you
left.
talk about break with injuries? Go ahead, man.
Oh shit!
Damn.
But nah, his wasn't a break. His was a more like a snap. But anyway,
Shh.
Yeah, you foul.
nah, man, I fucks with KD though.
No, you don't. No, you don't.
Fucks with him harder than his Achilles.
Yo, you is. And you
Yo,
talking about
that
me?
was on time.
And you
I like
talking about
that.
me?
I like that. That was dope.
Now you talking about
You
me?
setting them up.
Yeah.
I'm knocking them out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what you want me to do?
Yo.
No, seriously.
Quit Stockton over here.
The whole NBA caught a break with the Warriors being just a
Yes,
mess.
that's
of
true.
injury.
That's
No,
true.
the whole NBA,
I
not
agree.
just the
I
West.
agree.
Because
Mhm.
I would have serious questions about the Lakers and the Clippers.
Hambone said no Houston.
No,
Okay.
no. First of all, no, no,
Mm.
no.
Okay.
I'm used to say no, and I love Russ. Y'all know how I feel.
Russ,
about
Russ. Listen, they're gonna be in a worse position than they were last year.
Mike Carter in the building. What's good, Mike?
Could
Mike
be.
Carter, what up?
Hold on, Mike. See, because you like battle rapping, I got one for you. Okay, that's what you get. You listen, I'm on one today, man.
Hold on, what? Listen, hold on. Brian O'Brien up here, talk some trash. He's saying LSU is over Clemson. Oh, all right, but y'all not gonna play Clemson. Okay, LSU is better than Clemson. Great. Still not better than Ohio State.
Oh, I can't wait.
Still,
to that.
still mad how they protect that.
Let me tell you something right now. They are protecting them. Let me tell you something right now. The national championship game is Ohio State versus
Yeah.
Clemson. I tell you that right now.
That's easy.
Okay.
Right now.
That's
All right.
easy.
All right. Now
Am I lying?
No,
No.
he ain't lying.
I gotta get.
He
that.
ain't lying.
Now, Ruck, man, who's your MVP right now, bro?
MVP begrudgingly, I'm gonna say your boy, your godson.
Hold on, wait, hold on, wait.
Go ahead. Just
Oh.
do it. Just do it. LeBron James.
Okay. Now,
So,
why?
I
just wanna know.
I say Bron because he's on one of the best teams in the league, right?
Mhm.
He's playing in year 17 above average.
That's crazy.
He's leading the league in assists. And here's the thing. You take LeBron off of that team becomes the New Orleans Pelicans from last year. That's how important it is. And the fact that he's playing every night, that's why I don't think the Clippers are the best team in the league. We're not going to be able to see what the Clippers are because Kawhi's load management and the injury. We're not going to be able to see what they are until maybe the end of the playoffs, which may be too late for them, or next season.
Low management. Yo,
Like,
that's like a porno term.
listen, but the pause. But the crazy part about it, like, and it was an interesting stat that I heard the other day. He's playing every fourth game. Every fourth game. So at every fourth game, he's almost gonna play less than 66 games the whole season.
That's smart. That's
How,
smart.
I don't know how smart that is because not only like if he's hurt, okay, but how can you ever establish a rhythm? How are you ever going to establish the chemistry that's needed with him and Paul George and other people?
Didn't need
The,
that last year.
the Raptors. I was about to say the Raptors.
But he wasn't playing every fourth game with them. And then here's the thing that I give you though. He might have played every second game or every third game, but it was the East where it was a little bit different.
He ain't have a two like Paul George.
He did not have a two, but he didn't have any competition to go against. But back to Bron, which again I'm begrudgingly saying Bron, but Bron is just playing lights out, man. And again, you know what they call him early in the season, the Wash King. Listen, if that's washed at 17 years in, wash me up, please,
Watch me out.
please.
Yeah,
Get the soap, water, and everything. I bring the brew. And
Yo,
we,
you know
and we
what?
good.
And plus, I think that LeBron heard all the critics, and you know, LeBron is one. He says he don't listen, but he listens. And you know, these new era guys, like they take offense to
He
this.
definitely.
So I
listens.
think that when he came in, he wanted to show everybody I can do it with KD. I mean AD. I'm sorry.
Mhm.
I can do it with whatever coach,
Mhm.
and I'm going to make sure that I take LA to the promised land. So he's playing very determined because last year again he didn't really get to show us that. And he's
Listen,
playing the chip with,
Did-
with a, with
and
a,
what,
with a
what
big
people
chip on his
what
shoulder.
people don't understand is not only the chip, but this is the first NBA season that he's going in where he's had a break in the summer
Right, because
since his rookie year.
he ain't have a break since the damn prom.
No, so again, I think that puts him at an advantage. I think their system and the way that they're playing. Again, shouts out to one who I feel should be at least in the discussion of most improved. Shout out to Dwight Howard. Because those bigs that they have between Anthony Davis, JaVale McGee, Dwight Howard, like their team is put together very solidly to make a good run. I think the blowout that we saw night one with the Clippers, right now it looks like an anomaly.
Yo, Brian is he's a savage. He said
It really looks like it's going to be way different when they start to play again. Do they play again on Christmas Day? Who they play on Christmas Day? So Christmas Day in a couple weeks is going to be way
Brian
different.
He said AD will snap one of his ankles eventually.
Hell
He'll be out
no.
for a few more months.
You wildin'.
That's crazy.
You wildin'.
And Hambone, I don't know. It must be light skin juices. Warriors versus the Nets, 2021 NBA Finals.
Could be.
Wait,
Wait, whoa,
Listen,
hold on.
No, could be.
Well, yeah, with KD and Kyrie back.
Well, we'll see how weird
Warriors?
Kyrie gets, but yeah,
we'll see.
KD and I would actually love to see that.
Yeah,
I would love to see that. Because I think Larry Love said it, and I agree. You cannot tell me the Warriors are not positioning themselves for a top 3 draft pick this year.
Listen,
They're about to get the craziest. Tim Duncan. They about to do the craziest Tim Duncan move since the Tim Duncan move.
Listen,
What's that?
and we said this. Listen,
The Spurs, the year that David
when they
Robinson
had
got
David
hurt,
Robinson,
and then
they got Tim
just-
Duncan.
They got Tim Duncan. I'm not saying they tanking, but no, they're tanking.
Well,
No, they tanking.
yeah, they're tanking. It doesn't look like they're tanking, but they're tanking. But here's the thing. They're positioning themselves, and again, just thinking about that really quickly, Larry got something going. Because if they play this right, and which I think they should do now, shut Draymond down, shut Clay down,
it's early.
shut
Clay.
shut Clay down. We ain't even thinking about you this season. Steph, take the year, you good.
I don't think that's happening, but go ahead.
It may not, but what I say is shut it all down. And now you get those 3 back healthy next year. You get to decide what you're going to do with D'Lo, right? And then all these other young – listen, Pascal is –
Oh, boy, what a bright spot.
I mean, you
What a
talk
bright
about you
spot.
talk about a bright spot, and now you're talking about physically a bigger and more athletic Draymond.
Yeah.
Because when he was at Villanova, nobody saw what he's doing now in the league.
No.
They got a couple other good young players. Listen, I was down on Glenn Robinson II. I didn't think that he was going to be good at all. He is a bright spot. You know, Alex Burks. Alex Burks is a big. I think Willie Cauley-Stein, Marquise Chris. They have effectively, even in tanking, gotten younger and got exactly what you want from tanking. The young people getting all of the minutes.
Yep, all the minutes.
And
see what they can do.
And then
So
guess
now
what?
when you get your superstars back
and
and
veterans. And they're veterans. So now they can
and
teach
add
you.
something else,
Oh,
crazy.
Hambone. Hold on. Let me
crazy.
Let me do my thing, man.
Uh-oh.
To accept, press 1.
we getting
to
a
send
cat.
a voicemail.
I'm getting a khaki colored person on the phone.
Listen, you got my number. You don't have to call that number.
Yo, where the banana pudding at though, B?
I call that number because that's the number on the screen.
Just hit me. But this for people
Oh,
so they
okay.
won't be calling crazy. But
Yo,
listen, you got the main line.
Before you start talking, just know we not putting your picture up. It's not happening this week.
Wait.
Go ahead, Drake. And he puts it up.
I
And he
was
puts it up.
about to tell him to put his picture up, man.
Listen,
You got to put the Ebony, Ebony picture up.
Listen, Hambone is one of my favorite light skinned dudes, yo.
Looking like El DeBarge. Man, go ahead.
Listen. So I want to say thank you to Chris for acknowledging that.
Wow, dark skin helping light skin. Oh, that's
Because
what's up.
Who would have ever saw the day? We ain't never
If you
seen this
look-
since Mo Better Blues.
If you look at what the Warriors are doing,
Mm-hmm.
they are shutting guys down,
Mm-hmm.
and what they're going to do is come February or March, they're going to bring guys back because that is when Klay Thompson is scheduled to come back.
And Steph.
Scheduled to come back
Mhm,
around
and
March, April, and they're going to let dudes play games, but not enough to win. And they will get at least a top 5 pick. The wild part about it is that the situation is if they play this correctly, they come back next season with 3 first-round picks.
What do you get? So what if they get the kid from
And
Memphis?
wait, hold on.
Precious?
They could.
They come back with
Or Wiseman?
Klay Thompson, who's a first-round pick.
Mm.
They come back with Steph Curry, who's a first-round pick.
Mm-hmm.
And they will get the top 5 pick in the next draft. Whether you could say it's LaMelo Ball, whether you could say it's the big from Memphis, whether you could say it's the wing from Dayton, or you say it's the other wing from Georgia.
I like the kid from Georgia. I like the kid from Georgia.
I like the kid from Georgia too.
Going along with what's happening is they get Draymond Green back.
Yeah.
And now you talk about the piece of D'Angelo Russell.
Mm-hmm.
They won't get anything less than probably a first rounder for D'Angelo Russell.
Mm-hmm. They could actually get some talent for him too.
Exactly. So what you might see on draft night is you might see a move for D'Angelo Russell and potentially a top 3 pick for another juggernaut player, or they end up with 2 first rounders in this upcoming draft.
Yeah.
Could happen.
They're playing it very smart because they understand that this season is the season was a wash. The moment Steph got hurt, they said the season was a wash. And then you look at how much playing time they're giving these young guys.
All of it.
All of them too.
And it's great.
It's a tryout for those young guys. Pascal solidified he's going to stay next season.
Yeah.
Now you got to figure out if Poole is going to stay.
Oh, don't forget they got a mid-level exception next year for $17 million, so they could go get a veteran good player and pay him $17 million a year.
Yep.
Oh yeah, this is lined up just right.
Yeah.
Exactly. Now when you watch them, you know what they're missing. They're missing the inside defensive presence. Like they're missing a JaVale McGee type player. So either they're going to draft one, or you might see them go get a Valanciunas from Memphis.
I would actually like to see them get, if they spend any type of money on anybody, right? The 2 people that I would like to see that I think fits in their system are Vucevic and Aaron Gordon, and they're both unfortunately on the same team.
I'll tell you right now, you won't see Aaron Gordon.
I would love to see that though.
You won't see Aaron Gordon because
Golden State.
Yeah.
You won't see Aaron Gordon because they do not play an athletic type of basketball.
Yeah, they don't.
Well, Vucevic is a walking double-double.
Yeah, but he is more of a player who has to touch the ball.
Okay.
They can't take it. They can't take a 4 or a 5 that has to touch the ball because it doesn't work for them. They got to take someone who can stretch and who can stand still.
Okay.
That's why David West worked so well for them when he was there in the later years of his career.
First of all, it's because David West from Jersey and he a gang member. Just saying. just saying. Shout out to Jersey. You heard?
But what you're watching is you're seeing this type of action, and I might roll the dice and tell you could possibly see them keep D'Angelo Russell.
I would like them to.
I agree
just to
with
see
you.
how it works.
I agree with the D'Angelo Russell thing because I think that's why I don't think they are going to shut everybody down. I do think they want to see what Steph, Klay, and D'Angelo look like at some point this year. Because if Klay is healthy enough, I know Steph will be healthy enough, and D'Angelo's there. Before they just trade them away, they're going to go, well, what do you guys look like together? They got to see it. You got to see it on the floor, and then they'll go.
It won't be a big enough sample size.
Well, they got no sample size right now because they didn't. Klay's been hurt the whole time. They got no sample.
Right. So I agree with you. You might see them keep D'Angelo for another year.
Maybe.
I think so.
And see
I think it's possible
because they like
it doesn't hurt.
Steph
It doesn't hurt them. It doesn't hurt them.
No, it doesn't. It doesn't. Well, who it does hurt is it hurts Draymond.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because Draymond's the point guard.
True. Yeah. It takes him out of that pick and roll action, which looks really good with those other young bigs right now.
Looking really good with Willie Cauley-Stein and them boys. Unless, off it.
unless you're gonna say that D'Angelo Russell moves to the bench and he works with the second unit.
You know, that's crazy because
Which is a
Brian
great look,
O'Brien
too.
literally just said
Yep.
Russ should be the sixth man off the bench. If he
Yeah.
could accept that role,
He'd be
That'd
that
fine.
could be
great.
something.
That'd be great.
I mean, if he want to
That'd
win,
be great.
I mean, he know what's up.
Because you know what they're gonna lack is size.
Yeah.
Because if you start Steph, D'Angelo, Clay, Draymond, right there, you got nobody over 6'7".
Yeah,
Big 6'7" is Clay.
that's it.
And then you got one big. And if you gotta go against Kawhi and Paul George, both over 6'8".
Yeah.
If you gotta go against
LeBron.
AD and LeBron,
and everybody
both,
else.
big guys, they would have some problems with length. But just to be honest, they've always had a problem with length.
Pause.
Right, but the tandems that you named, that's a Klay Thompson, Draymond Green issue. That's a nobody else issue.
True.
Mm-hmm.
True. Very true.
And none of those teams have another guy to actually create the matchup problem.
The third will.
So
I give you that.
Draymond will guard AD and Clay will guard LeBron like normally.
Mm-hmm.
And they will guard, Draymond on Kawhi
Yeah.
and Clay on Paul George.
All in all, the Warriors are poised, like you said, next year to be right back in the championship conversation like they should be. I think, again, what we're looking at and while we're having just that early MVP conversation, it's really going to be on these other guys to really solidify where they are, especially in the West. If you're talking about, like Quet put out Luka, what's that going to look like for the next 5 to 10 years, if possible, with him and KP? Bron, what is this 17, 18, possibly 19 year going to look like with AD? So there's some things. And the one thing that I think that people have discounted from the Warriors that is a big piece, and we talk about all the time, it's the chemistry. The one thing I know from them, those three that are still there,
Oh, they got the juice.
they are never going to get tired of each other. Because they started from the mud, they got it in the championships, they have that chemistry. We never know what can shake out. Listen, say what you want. We could say, Kawhi was like, what it do, baby? We could do that, but how long is that going to last? Is Paul George still that type of guy?
Is he gonna be healthy?
Because not only is he going to be healthy, but is he going to be a man of his word? Because he told Russ, I'm here for 5 years.
Shit, he told the Pacers, I'm here.
Yeah.
Don't worry about it.
You know what I'm saying?
He also said, ball game.
Yeah.
I'm gonna leave y'all with this
Bitches.
one.
Just like
I'ma leave y'all
AD.
with this
Do
one
he
about-
want to really
about
go
the
home?
Lakers.
Hold on. What you say, Am?
I'm gonna leave y'all with this one about the Lakers.
All right, go ahead.
Their future is more uncertain than any other group.
Very true.
And here's why. LeBron is trying to stay until his son gets in the league
True.
because he says he wants to play with his son.
He definitely said that.
As that happens, LeBron James will have to relinquish so much of what he does to play the 4 and move Anthony Davis to the 5.
I like that though.
I like
Which
that too.
Anthony Davis
No, I'm
Anthony
talking about
Davis
what
has
Brian
made
said.
clear he does not want to play the 5.
Look at what Brian just said.
Oh.
So
I love that.
in the midst of that all, within this upcoming summer,
You know who else could use him? The Celtics.
they need to add a Bradley Beal type guy.
Woo!
Okay, now you're cooking with
Because
I seen that. I
Because-
seen the theory of
Yeah.
the Bradley Bill
Yeah.
with Wiseman from Memphis, and then Steph, Clay, and Draymond. I've seen that online, Mr. Hambone.
if they don't
Yeah.
add a Bradley Beal type guy, you will see the Lakers plummet again, and you will see LeBron leave early because he's not going to want his legacy to be that. He doesn't want his legacy to look like Kobe's last 3 years.
Yes. I will
That's my
say
take on the Lakers.
I will say this, Hambone, to add on to what you're saying, right? People kind of downplayed it too early, but it's a real possibility that Anthony Davis could want to go home to Chicago and play. the Bulls are
Yeah.
a lot more viable than people think.
Bulls got some nice.
Yeah.
They have a
Marketing-
lot of young
marketing makes them
pieces.
great.
Zach
They have
LaVine
a
looking nice
lot
out
of
there.
young pieces that he can play with, be home with, and then for the Bulls, it's not going to cost him anything because he's going to be a free agent. But Brian O'Brien, shout out to Brian O'Brien, Breezes made a great comment. Steven Adams can fit in Golden State.
Oh yeah.
The Celtics actually need to make a move and get Steven Adams there because that's the big piece that would put them over. But another thing that I know we've all heard too, Golden State could very well be positioning themselves to make another Hampton 5 pitch to Giannis.
I was literally about to go there because there have been reports that they are going to pitch Giannis. There's also been reports.
That's a great fit.
Hold on. There's also been reports from Giannis that he wants to play with Steph at some point.
That's dope. I love it. I'm sorry.
That won't happen. I
What?
don't see that happening. No,
What?
listen. I don't see that happening.
Why?
Because the only way I see that happening is if Steph comes to Milwaukee. Because Giannis has been painting his picture and cementing himself in Milwaukee.
He said he don't like it out there.
Hey, hold on,
Why-
Hambone.
why-
Hold on, Hambone. But let's be
Go ahead.
real about what you're about to say, right?
Yeah.
Giannis only needed that MVP year to take over everything that happened in Milwaukee. In Milwaukee now, when you're talking about that franchise, you're going to talk about it in this order. Giannis, Kareem, Oscar. That's it. He don't need to prove nothing else in the cold. That boy want to go to he want to go to California
Let me
and
tell you
see
what-
what it's like out
Let
there.
me tell you what's not happening. Steph leaving Golden State.
He definitely
I can tell you
ain't
that
leaving
right
Golden
now.
State.
That
And
ain't
that's what I'm
happening.
saying. Because listen to what Giannis has always said. Giannis has always been the person who's been against going to join. Giannis reminds me so much of Kevin Garnett in Minnesota,
And
where
you
he's
see-
rooted.
But you see what happened with KG. Listen,
Oh yeah, no, I see
listen,
what happened with KG.
the easiest pitch Hambone to Giannis right now, and it goes exactly with what you just said. You know, all Golden State got to do, all they got to do is say, Giannis, just meet us in the Hamptons, and they ain't even got to say nothing. You know what they gonna do? They gonna play the interview that John Thompson had with KG his last year in Minnesota, when he was sitting there crying, talking about, I just want to win.
Hold on, no.
I want somebody to play hard just like I do.
But Giannis has come out and said if he doesn't think that Milwaukee is making the moves to win a championship,
Talk about
he
it.
would leave. So I'm just saying, if they fall short
but at
again
the
this
same
year,
time-
it is on the table. I'm just saying. I don't know if it's going to happen. And I do think, I don't want to say it's a long shot, but it's a longer shot than KD when he went there. But it is on the table. And if Milwaukee stumbles in the playoffs again, and he's looking around like Chris Middleton, can you help me?
Yeah.
And then
Eric Bledsoe,
can you help me? And then he go to the Hamptons, and Steph and Clay and Dre and all of them going, hey man, why don't you come over here? Now I would
You
say
got
this.
Steve Kerr looking like Rick James.
I would
Give
say
it
this.
to me, baby.
For that to work, one of two things would have to happen.
D-Lo got to be gone.
No, not just D-Lo. It would have to be like D-Lo and Draymond.
Yeah, possibly.
Or
Possibly.
one of them, and he would have to take a cut. And I don't know. Giannis is a little too young in his career
Yeah.
to be taking a cut.
Yeah.
So more than
And that's
likely,
what I'm saying.
more than like, oh, you
That's
think
what
they
I'm
wouldn't
saying.
get rid of Draymond for Giannis? Because I think they would.
Man, please.
As
Dre
much as
be on the
Draymond
first
is a
thing
glue,
smoking.
as much as Draymond is a glue, Giannis is
Super glue.
Giannis is the steroid version of Draymond.
He-
Dude that you can
yo,
put anywhere that can control the ball, that
Giannis-
can pass, that can shoot.
Giannis is that Gorilla Glue commercial when the white lady trying to glue the leg back on the table when
Oh,
the
yeah.
ape come out.
Do that.
That's
He's a
Giannis.
gorilla
All right,
glue. That's
fellas,
Giannis.
man. Y'all have a great show.
You too,
Thanks,
man.
man.
Appreciate it.
Ayo.
Only thing I'm saying on that note though is that Giannis could work. They would have to do some things.
Absolutely.
One of those decisions would have to be made as
That's
far
an
as
easy fix.
him taking a cut. But he fits in easy, and then you would have,
Mm-hmm.
especially with the emergence of Pascal.
Mm-hmm.
Then you could go, listen, Draymond is on a workable contract. He's only get $100 million.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I know I'm only saying 100, but in the NBA,
Hey,
that's
nothing.
you know, that's nothing. You can move him to Milwaukee, and then you got Giannis, Steph,
And
Clay,
and maybe
and a
D'Lo.
first round pick,
Yep, and maybe D'Lo.
and maybe D'Lo, and Eric Pascal, and them young boys.
Yep.
Boom, let me tell you something. Let that happen. See the NBA go
'cause-
crazy again.
Because if people think right now, if people think in the league that stopping Giannis from going to the hole is impossible now, wait till he get 2 knockdown shooters
Oh, it's gonna be crazy.
that you
Pick
can't
your
leave.
poison.
Because now, what you gonna do? You can't even stop the ball. You can't pressure it. You can't trap it because as soon as somebody leave,
You can hope to
Barbecue
contain
chicken.
barbecue chicken.
it. Now, speaking of barbecue and chicken, you know, I'm getting hungry. Also, Chris,
Mhm.
Myra wanted me to tell you that you can have some of that lasagna too.
Yo,
You know, you and
first
What
of
lasagna?
all, first of
Ziti.
all,
I'm sorry,
hold on.
Ziti.
First
Big
of all,
Ziti.
this Ziti she did. She gonna post a video with the cheese bubbling and all this stuff. Like we ain't got no cholesterol problems and nothing like that.
I want to make. I went to the doctors today again. My LDL is great.
Oh, okay. All right.
My lipids
all right.
are great.
All right.
My good
All right.
cholesterol, great.
All
My
right.
bad cholesterol, low. Oh, I can have me some ziti.
Oh,
Baked
Okay.
It's good. It's good.
I'm
I can
gonna
have
have
me
some
some
too.
ziti.
I just
I'm
thought
gonna
I'd
have
tell
some
you.
more too.
I just thought I'd tell you.
The doctor actually said to me, you know, I have never seen this type of transformation in health, especially in a black man.
Wow.
Oh wow. He pulled out the black card. Yep.
No, I didn't
What's
pull
up?
out-
No,
I
I
didn't
said
pull out the
he. I
black
said the doctor did.
She pulled out the black hair.
Oh, and she's a she. Me Too movement. All right, let's
She
go.
said, you know, she's like, you know, because you know these things are not, you know, normal. And you know, big black men like yourself kept tapping me on my knee.
And then tapped you on the
And
knee.
she was tapping, but she, you know, hold on,
Rose.
hold on,
Rose.
tap me on the knee like this.
Yeah.
See, see?
Rose. That's all I'm saying. Just so everybody knows, Chris will never have the same doctor again after this show.
Never.
Just
I told her
wanna
about
let
it.
y'all
too.
know.
She said that bitch get cut. I was like,
Shit.
she got to be at least 70.
oh, she never mind.
Oh.
Nope. I ain't even gonna do it.
Oh.
Not on
Sugar mama.
duty. Not on duty.
Oh.
Not on duty.
She's for that.
Mm-mm.
She's for that segregation piece. Okay. Okay. All right. I'm done.
Oh, boy.
I'm done. That was Chris the whole time, the doctor. So, now,
Oh,
so
man.
Strong black man like yourself. Oh, thank you, man.
you stupid.
Thank
And-
you.
All right, and then you go ahead, and then you go back to her. Rose gonna come out to this. she gonna knock over tables. She gonna fuck everything up. Now,
Yo.
so it's been a topic. I know it's on Facebook. It was in groups. It was
Couple shows did it.
couple shows. Did
They
it,
don't do it like we do.
Nah, of
it.
course not, man. Tell them, Ruck. Tell them,
Don't
Tell
do
'em,
that
man.
thing.
Best NBA player to never win a championship, man.
I want Chris to go first on this one.
Yeah, man.
Well, I thought about it, and it was hard
It was.
because, all the real best NBA players won a championship.
Ooh.
So I got to
Shots
be
fired.
honest.
Shots
I
fired.
got to be honest.
Mm-hmm.
I got to be honest. But, the two that it really came down to for me
Mm-hmm.
that I just couldn't pick between is Charles Barkley and Karl Malone.
I like that.
Those are two I couldn't
I like
pick.
that.
Those are two I couldn't pick between because, you could make a case. You make a case that Charles Barkley MVP year, and it sucks to say this, but if Michael Jordan wasn't there,
Right,
he
yeah.
would have won.
Won easily.
And then you can make a case for the Utah Karl Malone team. If Michael Jordan wasn't
he
around,
would have had two.
he would have had two. Hakeem and them got lucky.
Yes, they did.
Mike wasn't around,
Mhm.
and so they was able to get them.
They loved it. They love every.
And
bit of
people
it.
don't talk about it a lot because Houston was a good team, but just think about it. Like they probably wouldn't have got those
Nah. Nobody.
if Mike was around.
The
So-
Spurs might not have gotten that first one with David and Tim, not for OJ, and the strike,
True,
and Mike not being there.
true.
So
It's a lot. I
Facts.
mean,
Those are my two.
how about you, Ruck? I mean, I already know you're gonna say, but
Gotta go for it.
Virginia.
Who I feel is, pound for pound, one of the greatest to ever play the game. Bubba Chuck, man. Allen Iverson. I think Allen Iverson, and the reason I say this is this, right? To do what he did in the league was unbelievable at best, right? But to take that Philly team that was constructed the way it was through the East, that was a gauntlet at that time.
Pacers.
Right? Not only the Pacers, but the Bucks, the Raptors, right?
Yeah, damn, the Raptors.
You talking about getting through a
Vince
whole
Carter and
bunch
them
of
boys.
talents. Vince
Tracy McGrady,
Carter,
too.
Tracy McGrady.
Young.
You talking about in Milwaukee, you talking about Glenn, Ray, Tim Thomas. He took them all the way through that.
Was Reed there yet?
No, Michael Redd was there.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, Michael Redd was there too. So to take them through all of that and get to the finals against a Laker team, right? And I understand they only won one game.
Yeah, but what a one game
Wow.
was.
But not only would have one
What did he
game,
drop, 40?
but again, the series, there was still no answer for him throughout the series.
Well, that's his name, so I
Yeah.
like what you did there.
Brian O'Brien,
I
get
throw
off.
it up, too.
Get off the internet.
What he said?
Get off the internet.
Chris-
He said Christian
Brian
Laettner.
O'Brien, get your dude out of here.
He was dropping gems, and then he said Christian Laettner just to
Christian
troll.
Laettner just messed the whole thing up. But I feel like Allen Iverson now, Barkley for me was a 1A because I
they
think
said Sam Cassell was there too with the
well, Sam
Oh, yeah,
Cassell
back with
was
the
in
Bucks, yeah.
because that was the three.
Yeah.
Okay.
It was Sam, Glenn, and Ray. So
Right.
I think again, Charles Barkley for me was the second one, 1A, because again, what he did in Philly, what he did once he got to Phoenix, like
Him, Kevin
never seen
Johnson,
nothing like
and
that.
I always show this man
Thunder
respect.
Dan.
Thunder.
Thunder Dan Marley.
Thunder. Dan
You know what I'm
Marley.
saying?